Today, I'm going to be talking about a subject that I think a lot of people in the Hypixel PvP community will resonate with, and that is that we need updates. Anyone who's been playing Bed Wars, Sky Wars, UHC, or Duels for a considerable amount of time is aware that the Hypixel dev team hasn't added major updates to the game modes in recent memory. I'm aware that Sky Wars had the recent Opal system added. However, I do not really count this as a major content update because it's only available to a minority of the player base. Not everyone gets to experience it. Bed Wars, for example, hasn't had a content update for 542 days. That is just shocking for the second most popular game mode on the network at the moment, and the most popular game mode of all time. I'm not going to stoop to the level of saying that tournaments, cosmetics, bug fixes, or minor game changes to dream modes count as content, because I just don't think that they really count. I'm not going to be talking about the last time that Duels was updated because you've been scrolling for 20 minutes on the forums and haven't found one yet, apart from a map rotation for classic Duels during Christmas. So you get the idea. Oh wait, we found one post recording this, and it was on the 4th of March 2019, 713 days ago. UHC has gotten a minor update in that they got game modifiers, and that was 109 days ago. All of this is compared to Skyblock, that has enjoyed 13 updates in the last 365 days, just over one a month, which is just absolutely appalling considering the fact that only 35% of the Hypixel player base is playing it at the time of recording. Considering the fact that Skyblock is dying, I think it's more than time that the PvP community gets actual content for once. In order to understand the vast disparity between the update frequency of game modes, we need to look at what Hypixel truly is: a business. And a business's primary objective is to make money. If the PvP game modes don't make Hypixel enough money for them, then they won't reinvest resources into keeping them updated. This is due to the fact that Hypixel has total domination of the Minecraft server industry, with nothing even coming close to the size of the Hypixel network, meaning that they have no external pressure to keep the less profitable game modes updated, because there is nowhere that the player base of those game modes can really go. So, how can we get around this problem? Well, we first have to look at the most popular game mode on the Hypixel network at the moment, Skyblock, and the only game mode that seems to get any updates anymore. Back in the olden days of Skyblock history, there was, as we are experiencing now, a content drought. YouTubers were fed up and constantly complaining about it. Thank you, 30virus. Well, that's all changed. After the release of Dungeons, finally, the Hypixel team has been able to regularly update the game mode, so to speak. I haven't been part of the Skyblock community for about 4 months at this point, so I don't know the intricate details. So how did the content drought end for Skyblock? Well, the Hypixel team managed to get the game mode monetized in a way that was both profitable for them and acceptable to the player base. Skyblock was once plagued with IRL traders making tens of thousands of dollars every week from the use of macros, and the high-level players all macroing their skills to get ahead of the competition. But that was all put to an end after a few long months of the business thriving. The Hypixel team realized that there was big money to be made selling coins, so they banned the people that needed to be banned and set up anti-macro checks into the game mode. Hypixel then began to sell legitimate coins from their own store. There was exclusive content available to people with rank, such as teleportation and quick crafting. This meant that they were making a lot of money, and that money is being pumped back into the game mode, and they are now enjoying frequent updates. What we need to take away from this is that in order to get updates, we need to make Hypixel money. I know what you're all thinking. Hypixel makes enough money as it is. Most of you have probably bought a rank in the past, and you feel like you supported the server enough, and that we just need updates. Those are all valid points, but the fact remains the same. PvP game modes don't nearly make as much money as Skyblock does for the Hypixel team. However, there is something that people have seemed to have overlooked. PvP game modes may not make a lot of money for the staff of Hypixel, but they do generate massive amounts of money for somebody else. The owners of the PvP clients. We PvPers love to splash the cash on fancy cosmetics, and we can't seem to get enough of it. Badlion and Lunar clients respectively make millions off it. Not a penny of that is going back into supporting the game modes that generated that money. 99% of their customer base comes from Hypixel, and the vast majority of sales are from the PvP community. So without PvP game modes on Hypixel, these companies have no business model. This means that the Hypixel team has the power to demand that the clients pay for the ability to access the lucrative markets that are the Hypixel PvP community. If they do not comply, then they will simply be banned from the network and lose all but a tiny portion of their income. As we have discussed previously, Money drives all business, so all Hypixel has to do is set a deadline for the clients to accept the terms by, and then we will get the updates that we deserve. The only thing that can prevent this from taking place is if the PvP clients succeed in playing hardball, thinking that their best course of action is to allow the deadline to pass, getting banned from the network, and then hoping that the PvP community gets riled up in a way that makes Hypixel go back on their new tax and reinstate the clients with their previous tax-free sales in the Hypixel network. This is why it is absolutely imperative that we stick together as a community and make sure that we don't tear each other apart from the inside, choosing temporary comforts over the longevity and enjoyment of the game modes as a whole. I suggest that the ban threat only goes to the two biggest of the PvP clients, which are Badlion and Lunar, as they are by far the biggest, and without a playable alternative in the likes of PvP Lounge, I just feel like the possibility of an outright revolt from the Hypixel player base is a lot higher, because if there's nothing to fall back to in the absence of Badlion and Lunar, there's just a much higher chance that that players just outright won't accept the terms that Hypixel has given to the PvP clients. I'm not saying this because I'm in any way affiliated with PvP Lounge, but I just genuinely believe that if there's nothing put in place as a temporary alternative to Lunar and Badlion, there is a quite high possibility that the Hypixel player base would just go out in an all-out revolt against the idea. This is not ideal, I know, but it is a necessary sacrifice to make in order for the guaranteed updates of PvP game modes. However, it must be noted that this is not necessarily going to happen. Perhaps the PvP clients will accept this new tax, realizing that they depend solely, pretty much, on the PvP gamers on Hypixel, and see that it is a healthy business investment because it will improve the longevity of those game modes a lot, because frankly, the player base is getting bored of it by now. The more people that agree to back Hypixel on this issue, the higher chance that this will actually happen. It's sad that the clients have to suffer because of this, but there's just not enough incentive or pressure for Hypixel to update them as it is. And frankly, I think it's fair that the PvP clients have some financial input in upkeeping the game modes on the server that are keeping them in business. In return for their financial backing of the game modes, they will in turn get a larger amount of players that are playing them, buying their cosmetics because of the increase in the number of updates. So what will the money be used on? Well, to start off, an anti-cheat that actually works. I am aware that Atlas has been introduced, and that is a step in the right direction, but we still have a ways to go before the problem of hacking is eradicated on the server. Turtles and many other Bed Wars YouTubers have stated the issues that they have making original content because of the lack of updates, and it's only going to get harder if we allow this to continue. And please get this into the admin minds that having maps does not count, having new maps or a map rotation does not count as content. It should not replace raw, hard, new things being added to the game. Of course, it is great on the side, but it should not be in replacement of actual content. For example, pairing the ranked Bed Wars server with the actual base game would be a great thing considering the popularity that it already has and the lack of a ranked Bed Wars on the server as it is, even though Skywars has its ranked system. But more on that in a future video. We're going to be going over ideas that we have for Bed Wars in more depth and detail later on. However, we will not be going over the other game modes that we have mentioned in this video because I don't think that we can fairly represent those communities in a full way, because we mainly play Bed Wars and duels. So, if we get this message to the admins and the vast majority of players are willing to back it, then we will have a great chance to get the game modes that we love updated in the near future. So please go to the forums, just spam the forums, share this video amongst your friends, subscribe if you're new, and remember, this is only possible if we all come together as a community and agree to back Hypixel on this issue. If we fail to do so, this is doomed to failure. And on that note, I'm going to end the video. Peace out.